this beautiful afternoon here in Texas. Okay. So we're going to talk about this as part of our movement. Okay, combating radio frequencies for healthier living, and yes, you do see gloves. Okay, y'all, we found some awesomeness. Okay, so we've got gloves that help keep our knuckles out of direct sunlight, so they'll heal faster. That's a tip I found on a website. I forget the name, but it was written by an actual medical professional, if you will, and they're correct about this. That if you've got bruises, one of the best things you can do to help it heal, okay, aside from ice packing, keeping it cool, is to keep it out of direct sunlight. And so when I found that article, because I was trying to figure out, like, what else can I be doing? Because I was like, I do the ice packing when I can, but I got to use my hands, right? So when I looked that up and I found out that, you want to try to keep those bruises out of the direct sunlight. Okay, and I'm going to tell you, it's working. It's working beautifully. So let those notifications go out. While they go out, I'm going to do our usual check over here because it's seems like a no-brainer that healthier choices when you go into the grocery store and stuff are right there in front of us. They've been hiding in plain sight all the time. You don't have to dig through a bin to find a bag of baby spinach. You don't have to dig through a bin to find a decent head of, well, maybe, okay, that depends on your preference, but a decent head of broccoli. I mean, the fresh produce and vegetables section, I mean, it's right there. And when you think about most Walmarts, as far as I know, as soon as you walk in the grocery side of the store, boom, it's right there in front of you. Apple, oranges, pineapples, all that good stuff, the healthy stuff. Of course, you got the bakery over there too. Okay, I'm not saying you don't. Listen, if your inner child wants the Danish, okay, but don't make a habit of it. But it's all about making healthier choices on average, okay, y'all. The Danish is not such a bad thing if you are craving if your inner child, right? If your autonomic nervous system got a little bit stressed, it's gonna crave that. Mine in this season, it's the little cinnamon rolls. I don't know. That's what she wants, one of those, and she's good. My little Michelle, the inner child, autonomic nervous system there. So let me go ahead and do our usual check. But we're going to talk as part of our movement here, combating this radio frequency for healthier living, because the healthier choices are there. It's just not something that we would stop and actually think a whole lot about because, right, because it's there and there you go. All right, I've got the chat up over here. I'll give it a few minutes. I know it's going on about 4 o'clock. Uh, do 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 do. Yes, excuse me, going on about 5 o'clock Eastern time. I'm getting used to the time zones, y'all. So thank you for your patience. And I just wanted to get on here and give this to y'all. So I've got the chat up. I will be looking down at it from time to time to see if y'all got anything. So bear with me because we are out. We're away from the table or anything, so I'm gonna have to put this down here where I can see it. So I will look every once in a while and see if y'all got question, additional insight, or what have you, because combating radio frequency for healthier living, because we are surrounded by radio frequencies. And if your body has excess salt and whatnot on the inside, okay, and let's say bruises, all right, then you're more vulnerable to being electrocuted, basically, cooked from the inside out. I'm gonna tell y'all what I'm doing here. I do not recommend that you do this unless you have detoxed to a point where you have locus of control of your muscles back. And you'll know if you do or not, okay? You'll be able to feel it. Like right now, I can tell I have my locus of control back. I recently got the locus of control back here, okay? And I could feel it when it happened as I'm weight training. I'm like, ooh, there you are. Okay. All right, we're back. Okay, and so when you have locus of control back of your muscles, okay, at least a majority of them. I don't recommend doing this until you do, okay, because you won't notice when this is happening if you don't have locus of control back of the majority of your muscles, okay, especially, okay, your brain. All right, you got to have locus of control back of your brain. In other words, it can't be foggy. You can't be in a fever-induced state all the time. You can't be, exactly. Can't be running on adrenaline. All right, you got to be able to pay attention when your body's doing this. So I found a place that I can go to, and it's right, Chinese food, okay, buffet, and what I do is it's got enough frequency that we can adapt to, and then I know that of course there's going to be salt in the food, but I don't add any. Okay, I don't add any, and so I'm going after the animal protein. Okay, so today it was mostly just a chicken. Healthier choices. I wanted the animal protein, and I know they have the chicken's gonna have some animal fat on it because I've already eaten there once before. And so I said, okay. I said, this is what we're gonna do. And so I'm using it to measure my progress as well. So I sat there, and as I'm eating the first plate, and I'm paying attention to how my body is responding to the frequencies around me as I'm eating the animal protein, I'm getting animal fat. Okay, remember y'all, animal fat is necessary, okay, not just for cognitive functioning, but also for lubrication of your joints, including your knuckles. Okay, so that being said, I was sitting there, and it took about 30 minutes before I felt, because they got the air conditioner running in there. Oh yeah, y'all, it's getting cold at night here in this short season, okay? It dropped all the way to 40 degrees last night, which is not cold, really. If your body's internal temperature, if it is too high, then it's going to feel colder than it really is. So you got to, yeah, and vice versa. If your body's internal heat is too high because of all the excess salt and sugars and radio frequency poisoning, then you're going to feel, it's going to feel hotter than it really is, or it's going to feel colder than it really is. This is why detoxing is so important as part of healthier living. So, and making healthier choices, because they're in plain sight, even on a Chinese buffet. Oh yeah. And broccoli, vegetable fried rice, but it's going to have salt in it. Okay, no big deal. So I knew that. And so I'm eating my plate. It took about 30 minutes, and I felt in the upper body, I felt my temperature rise. And I know we have a little bit of residual bruising, like right in here. I finally saw it, and I said, oh, okay, because the majority of the bruising is gone. We're just little spots here and there, like the knuckles that we knew about. We just had to figure out how we were going to help them heal, because my goodness, I was like, I've got everything we do. We got to use our hands. So glove, for anybody who might be experiencing discomfort in your knuckles, they make these, okay? They're available. That's right. And my tip, like I gave on the Patreon channel, is you don't want the compression side. No, you don't want to compress areas that need circulation the most. So I wear a size small to a medium. However, the Lord said, yeah, but get one size up. One size up, because it's not compressing anything, but it's giving me the cooling effect of the menthol to keep my hands cool, so that the circulation improve, and enough breathing room for oxygen. Because when I took the small to medium gloves off, that was the first pair, when I took those off, I could tell my fingers weren't getting enough oxygen because of the compression side. And so God said, yeah, no, he said, get the large, extra large. So get one size up, okay? So that you're not compressing the area that needs circulation the most. That never made sense to me. So anyway, all right, because all you're going to do is numb it. If you are using compression, all you're going to do is numb it. And so, okay, never mind. Okay, and that's what we don't want to do that. You want to be able to feel what's going on. I don't know about y'all, but I do. Once I'm able to feel what's going on, I'm able to feel, okay, we got a little bit of a sore muscle there. I know there's an air pocket there that's got to work its way out. And I'm like, okay, give me some more Boswellia, which is frankincense, an all-natural herbal remedy, okay, to help with inflammation, because that's what happens. If it's a sore spot, that means that the air pocket is expanding. That's your inflammation. Okay, and so I got little air pockets in my knuckles. That's what's causing them to expand when they get hot. Little salt molecule inside the air pocket. Okay, anyway, so I'm sitting there and I could feel, okay, the temperature increase, and broke out into a little bit of a sweat back here. And I said, okay, all right. That's how I'm measuring my progress, because it took 30 minutes after eating, or while eating and sitting down, and I had my sneakers on. Remember, the spots of the body that get rid of excess heat, the bottoms of the feet and the top of the head. So keep that in mind as well. But other places, and then especially out of the mouth, to get rid of excess heat for healthier living. Because the cooler the inside of your body is, the better it circulates. That's a no-brainer. So healthier eating comes from healthier choices. So healthier choices are right in front of us. They have been. They're not hiding in plain sight. They're in plain sight. They're right there. You walk into Walmart, boom. There's your fresh produce, tomatoes, avocados, all the healthy stuff. And then, of course, throughout, but you have to make the right choices. So one of the things that I've been working on, okay, y'all, in this season is really eliminating as many foods as possible from in the can. Even Dr. Adamo of the Blood Type Diet will tell you that. It's in his book, okay, Eat Right for Your Type. Oh, yeah, he said, especially, I would say for all blood type, but I know because for blood type O, when I was more strictly on the blood type diet, the blood type diet now is just the lifestyle for me. Because I'm not lactose and gluten intolerant like the Matrix tried to tell me I was. Those were radio frequency symptoms that I was experiencing. Radio frequency poisoning interferes with your body's natural digestion. And it also interferes with your body's natural ability to do what it needs to do. What God designed it to do naturally. So being overexposed to radio frequencies will lead to stuffy heads, of course, excess salt, okay, and that's the magnet for the heat from the radio frequency. So it's heating the body up on the inside. And so as I'm sitting there and I gauge that, okay, and so I pay attention now wherever I go to how my ANS is responding to things, right? Okay, and so that's how I measure my progress, because when the body stops getting heated up on the inside like that after 30 minutes or so, then I'm gonna know, okay, we are done detoxing. That's how I'm gonna know. So, because yours truly, my circumstances were a little bit different. I had a lot of bruises that had to heal, and now that a lot of them are, and we are on our way to getting back in shape, okay? That's really what it's all about, muscular shape, and rebuilding that muscle mass and recovering and knowing now where the air pockets are. And I'm like, okay, because we can feel, like okay, for those who don't know your gluteal system, okay? Oh yeah, your glutes, okay? Your gluteus maximus, minimus, and medius, okay? Your gluteus minimus is, well, and your maximus, kind of like a border with the main gluteal nerve that goes to the back there. Okay, that is kind of like the nerve that runs, well, on your sit bone, or better known as your pelvic floor. That's very important for health, okay? Overall muscular health, for balance and being able to, well, yeah, hold it when you got to go to the bathroom if you're not at a bathroom, and things like that, okay? And healthier eating, okay, helps strengthen those muscles. So when you start thinking muscle food, you start thinking spinach, you start thinking eggs, berries, okay? All of that's right there when you walk into Walmart. Boom. The healthier choices are right there in plain sight. So we are left without excuse. You know, God gives us free will, but the devil gives us temptations because the flesh is weak. Remember that. God tells us the flesh is weak. We know this. This is why we fall from grace, okay? All right, well, we try hard not to fall from grace now. Once you understand, you become the parent of your autonomic nervous system, the ANS, your inner child. When you understand that you become the parent of it, okay, it got re-traumatized, all right, or it is traumatized, and you needing to get it healed. Okay, you're gonna have to parent it, and it's gonna crave some things once in a while because your inner child operates still in the flesh. Okay, whereas the adult version, we are walking after the Spirit, walking and living by faith, picking up our cross and following Jesus. So there's that balance between the spiritual and the physical that you got to have, that discernment, so that you can properly manage yourself and your inner child. So as I was talking about earlier, inner child wants one of them little cinnamon rolls, the little snack size one, okay, fine. But that's all she needs. It's just 1, 2, maybe 3. Okay, that's it. I know you're like, what? But no more than 3. 3. God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, the Godhead. Okay, so there you go. That's for the inner child. I can care less. But cinnamon has anti-inflammatory properties. So there you go. All right, so there's some benefit in there. I prefer to do my own juice and put all natural cinnamon in it, but my little Michelle, my inner child, had that craving. And if you don't take care of that craving, then because of all the toxicity that's still inside the body because of radio frequency and excess salt, if we don't take care of the inner child craving, then we're going to continue to eat every hour on the hour because we're going to think we're hungry every hour on the hour. I'm telling you from experience. That's what God revealed to me. I was like, man, I said, why? When it first started, she wanted some Cheetos. And I said, what is with that? I haven't had Cheetos in years. I said, why does she want, oh, because, and God revealed that to me. So because the ANS operates in the flesh. Hence why, okay, the societal level of narcissistic abuse is using radio frequency to manipulate the inner child, to keep it traumatized, to keep you walking in flesh, okay, and walking after the flesh, walking and living by sight instead of walking and living by faith. And so when your inner child is craving something during the detox process because it got traumatized or re-traumatized, then you got to give it the taste. You've got to, not for you, but for your inner child. And God knows the difference. He knows what you're doing. Remember, God's the spirit on the inside of us. He knows what we're doing. He's the one guiding our steps to do it. Because we don't want to be stuffing our face with just stuff every hour on the hour. That's not healthier eating. Right? So healthier choices, though, are out here and they're in plain sight. You got to read labels sometimes, too. So when you think about that, think about juices. Okay, you don't want to just go over to the juice section and get just any bottle of apple juice. Read the ingredients. Make sure it's all natural. They're out there. Okay, it's out there. All natural. No added sugars, no added salt, stuff like that. So you want to look for that stuff. And it's there. I have found at the HEB grocery chain here in Texas, I have found no salt added pinto bean, although in the can. Although we're working our way away from the canned item and going to go back to dry beans once we're figuring out our groove here on the campsite. And in doing so, I'm just giving y'all that if you're in a pinch or you're in a bind. I wanted some homemade refried beans real quick, and that's what I grabbed. But I made sure that I grabbed the no salt added. So if I'm going to get something in the can, I'll make sure it's no salt added where available. It's not available in everything. Like, I haven't found spinach in a can with no salt added. So it's either fresh spinach or frozen spinach. Read the ingredients on the frozen stuff too, because you don't know if, yeah, you want to make sure it's just exactly that. Spinach and nothing else. No added salt, no sugars, no nothing, okay? And then just really pay attention, okay? When you make a list, stick to the list, okay, as much as possible. And don't allow the devil's temptation to thwart you off of that path, okay? This is why you have to be very intentional. And yes, it is always a good idea to eat a decent snack, or if it's meal time, to eat before you go to the grocery store. Yes, it does help, okay? And just not be distracted, be aware, okay? Because I'm gonna tell y'all something. I used to think that Chex Mix, nothing wrong with it if you're into that, but you can make your own. I mean, the recipe is available online and right on the back of the box of the Rice Chex cereal, right? Okay, you can make your own. Seriously, and that's really the best way to go, because I found in the actual Chex Mix, I didn't realize it until later on, corn syrup solids. Oh. So we do our best not to consume that stuff on purpose. All right, this is what label reading is all about. I want y'all to stay tuned, because I have not forgotten about taking y'all with me, okay, into a grocery store or on a trip out there, so you can see how I control my empathy with all that spiritual energy around, okay, with the other people, and then of course narcissists. And I want y'all to see how I deal with it by not losing my composure, because we see it for what it is and we stay focused. But I wanted it to have a purpose as well, not just to educate and to motivate, but, well, yeah, but to show you all what it's like label reading. So I want to do that for y'all as part of our movement here. Remember, our movement in this ministry is combating radio frequency for healthier living, and healthier living starts with healthier eating by making healthier choices, okay? So yours truly, as far as a regular menu, okay, on a pretty consistent basis, definitely eggs, spinach, berries, muscle food, muscle food, muscle food. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm passing along to y'all as our movement, okay? Think muscle food. Don't be thinking carbohydrates. Think muscle food, okay? Because your muscles are going to want that too. Okay, your thyroid is responsible for metabolizing, in large part, metabolizing carbohydrates, but it's also responsible for regulating your body's internal heat. There you go. So you want to take care of it as well. The best way for taking care of the thyroid, well, ice pack right there. And that will regulate your whole nervous system. There is a medical practitioner on TikTok, Dr. Mary Beth, who put that out there, and she spot on. She used a bag of frozen vegetables and said, you put it right there and it will regulate your whole nervous system. And she's right. That's a natural way to do so, to cool it down. But then also managing your salt intake, and then also making sure you get iodine, okay? I don't add salt to anything, so no, that's not my recommendation. But you can get supplements like seaweed, kelp. Bladderwrack is a very common name for kelp, okay? So you'll find that at most of your like health food stores. Like I know Vitamin Shop is one of my go-tos for herbal supplements, things like that. And so they've got kelp, and they also have a ton of other helpful all-natural remedies, all right? But kelp is really good for the thyroid because it provides it with the necessary iodine for its normal functioning. Because the thyroid, not just the brain, but the thyroid is a big target of the devil, you all, okay? Because it is a big part of our overall health and well-being. Okay, thyroid, metabolism, I mean, seriously. And the water balance, your thyroid plays a role in that too, because all that hot salt water acts as a magnet for radio frequency to zap you. And if you keep getting zapped, that heat rises, goes to the head, and the next thing you know, you're all either, you're drained of energy. You may not know it if you're running on adrenaline, but then you're not able to think clearly. You'll have a sense of lethargy. You'll be like blah, and then you'll be like all giddy or what have you. You're like, you know what? It's all good. You know what? I had a salad for lunch. This is what you're gonna think if your head is too hot. You're gonna think, I had a salad for lunch. So you know what? I'm gonna have pizza for dinner. Okay. Okay. I mean, it's your choice. But if you're not able to think clearly, that's what can happen. It can throw you off your goals and off that healthier path. Okay, again, now, if your inner child, on the other hand, okay, your head's not too hot, your inner child is craving a slice of pizza, that's different, all right? But just keep it to a minimum. And what we want to do is know that it's not a habit, and make sure we understand that what our inner child is craving is not part of this new lifestyle. It's just part of its healing process. Okay, it's part of the inner child healing process. Once the inner child is fully healed, and you won't have no more of those cravings. Glory be to God. I'm going to tell you, you won't. Because she already has quit craving any of that fast food. And in fact, now when I smell, when I go out, I'm out there driving, and I drive by a McDonald's or something, I'm like, ugh, I don't even want it. I was like, no. And neither does she. But there was a season where she craved the chicken nuggets because little Michelle now, okay, and I was like, oh man, I was not happy about that. But I knew if I did not give her, I got the 4-piece, That's all she needed, okay, was just to get that craving taken care of. I'm like, okay, now I will get some fruit. There's that season where I told her, I said, we are going to compromise here. You have a chicken nugget, I'm going to go get a banana. We're going to balance this out somehow. And we got through that season. And she don't want that no more. So I just got to tell y'all that. For any of you who are in that season, okay, if your inner child is craving some of that stuff, don't panic, don't fret. It will come to an end. You will get back to like, okay, you don't want that stuff. All right, because I used to be like that before the physical assault, and my ANS got re-traumatized. So this is part of the journey, is getting my inner child re-healed again. Because before all of that, I could not stand the smell of fast food, and neither could she. And so we finally got back to that point. So I know that the cravings for the little cinnamon roll, that's gonna, it too shall pass. But it's just to keep her calm, because she only has those cravings when she gets a little stressed out. When the ANF gets stressed out, it's gonna have those. See, the devil and the matrix, they know this, okay, about our autonomic nervous system, the inner child, that if it gets stressed out, it'll do that. Because it operates in the flesh, and the flesh is weak. But the spirit is strong. Glory be to God. All right. And it gets stronger. All right. Y'all, chosen one, keep it moving. All right. And the healthier choices are right there in plain sight. Just pay attention. Pay attention. All right. And don't have blinders on. And don't allow the devil's shenanigan to get in your peripheral vision. Because remember, your peripheral vision is a big target also, because that's the doorway to your subconscious mind. Okay, so keep that in mind. This is all part of combating radio frequencies for healthier living, and it's doable. We're doing it. We're doing it camping. I mean, come on now. Chosen ones, we could do this. There's so many things available on this planet, so many things available out there to help us make this work and to keep resisting the devil so he flees from us. And we rebuke in the name of Jesus all the attempts, okay, because he ain't got nothing new. And I'm gonna tell y'all that the most recent attempt at head games, no, it's not gonna work, because what they're trying to do is, because y'all got to remember something about the spiritual realm, okay? So there was a narcissist who happened to be a Jezebel that was a camping neighbor there, and we know that they passed the baton in the spiritual, the Jezebels especially. So the Jezebel case study, right, passed the baton on to everywhere I have been, okay, for another Jezebel. They could see the bruising that I couldn't see during a season. And so that's why some of the attacks got ramped up when they did. I'm aware of that. But this most recent one, okay, is because they're trying to stress out my ANS. It's like I'm aware, I know what they're trying to do. You're not trying to sabotage my tent. And I said, oh, I give it to God. I give it to God. Because I said, we're going to find a way to alleviate that. So they can try. Nothing new under the sun. Okay? With animated salt molecules all day long, it's not going to work. Because it's not going to psych me out. I'm not afraid of those things. And we are self-caring for the hands now, and taking better care of them to keep those bruises out of direct sunlight. And so yeah, so now when I bend over and do stuff, and if I sweep the floor and everything like that, as long as I wear these gloves, and we good to go. And it's temporary. This too shall pass. Everything healed. Jeremiah 30:17 is in action, y'all. The Lord says he's restoring our health. He is healing thy wounds. Glory be to God. Trust and believe. All right. Don't forget to check out the links in the video description below. I highly encourage y'all to do so. We got something at the Academy for all y'all. Click on all courses when you visit that link, and you'll see everything we have there for you. Plus, don't forget to check out the website. We've got Real Talk with God's Wisdom videos available for your digital library. To remind you that you ain't crazy, and that what you see is what you see, and what you hear is what you hear. Okay? No more cognitive dissonance, no more gaslighting going on here. As you become more aware of narcissism, that pure evil that is out here around us. And we are combating the tool that they like to use most frequently, radio frequency. Okay? The radio frequency poison, we're combating that for healthier living and more. So, oh, the Patreon membership channel, y'all, don't forget. That's in the description below. Also, you can unlock access to exclusive content, including CHA's Truth Analyzer Patreon podcast, where we dive deeper into the spiritual battle, and I share case study results, more personal testimony, and that. You can unlock access to all of that for as little as $5 a month. You can start out by becoming a free member on the Patreon channel. Yes, there is a free side. And so I highly encourage y'all to check it out, because on the free side, you'll get the previews too. And I also do have videos available on the free side as well. Every once in a while, I'll pop one in there. But you can see the previews to content that you will unlock access to when you're ready for as little as $5 a month. All proceeds that come into the ministry go right back into this growing community of spiritual warriors for Christ. Oh yeah, that's right. We are a growing community. You better believe it. It's like I could feel it. I was like, oh man, that's really cool. And so I look forward to seeing y'all, okay, on the Patreon channel. I look forward to seeing you at CHA Academy in the community forum there. Oh yes, we got a lot going on there. Okay, fun fact videos, short Bible studies. We got the book club over there. Oh my gosh, and all kinds of stuff going on in there for everybody. Iron sharpening iron. All right, everybody, so you keep it moving. Sending love and light to all fellow warriors. Thank you for watching, listening, and for your continued support. Till next time, we'll show some gratitude to the Heavenly Father, and you keep being you. In Jesus' name, amen.